Hello and good evening. I'm Andrew Victor Myers, Stay True's founding artistic director.
And I'm Anne Karina Backen, Stay True's associate artistic director, and we would like to welcome you to Stay True's first annual Bloom, a collection of new queer voices.
Yes, I'm so delighted that Stay True has curated this collection of new works written by playwrights in the LGBTQIA+ community. This has been one of my personal goals and visions since founding Stay True in the summer of 2019. To be dedicating this to the memory of Timothy Conigrave makes my heart soar. Producing the stage version of this memoir, Holding the Man, was the project that started Stay True. He, like many of his generation globally, responded to his own HIV diagnosis as a call to community. Timothy dedicated himself to theater, activism, storytelling, and care for our entire community. This is a fitting tribute to his ongoing legacy.
In addition to Bloom, we are currently celebrating Pride Month and Stay True's second anniversary. We hope you enjoyed tonight's reading and that you'll consider joining us for more shows later in our season.
Act 1, Queer. I may be crazy, but that don't make me wrong. Marsha P. Johnson.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
Looking.
Wanna fuck?
Looking.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
How's things?
Hey, your picture is hot as fuck. How are you?
Hey, your profile is fierce as fuck.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Looking.
Looking.
Hey, girl. I'm not sure I should write plays anymore. The world's on fire and people are rising and the oceans are rising and the state is killing people, literally fucking killing people. And our response is what? To write fucking plays? What the fuck is the point of that? I challenge you, all you artists out there, to find me just one example from the entire history of the written word of a piece of art that changed anything real and substantial. Not changing consciousness, but changing actual reality. Art doesn't change shit. Sure, a piece of art might be able to change someone's heart or mind or whatever, but let's not pretend that individual change is the same as seismic change. I'm so very tired of postmodernism. It's broken our brains, fried them into nonsense. Everything is a soup and nothing is universal, so then liberation is individual. But the thing is, liberation isn't theoretical, right? Let me change tact, okay? I'm not trying to say that art isn't important. Art is important. The earth without art is just right? But also, art is, I don't want to say frivolous, but it isn't revolutionary, right? Like, look, I feel your energy, and I'm sorry, I don't like shouting at my audience who paid real material money to be here and watch this real material play with real material actors saying words that were written by a real material person. That, for you critics and theorists in the audience, is the thesis of the play. I just said it for you, yes? So now we've underlined the thesis, which is that this is a real play with a real actor saying words written by a real person, okay? Do we all get it? Yes, my critic friends? Have you scribbled that down? Good. Now, I don't want to see a single review or tweet or post that claims this play isn't about anything, because I just told you what the fuck it's about, okay? There's no linear plot, but this play is very much about something, okay? We got it? We good? Yes, fabulous. Back to the bullshit. I'm so very tired of postmodernism. It flattens everything out and makes everything into a metaphor and personal and specific and robs us of universality and strategy. And look, postmodernism is the reason why so many of us are depressed. Truly. And I can prove it. Because doubt, self-doubt specifically, is integral to postmodernism. Postmodernism tells us that we can't know things for sure, that we can never be certain if anything is true. So if we can never be certain if anything is true, then pragmatically, nothing is true. And we can never know anything. That's paralyzing, right? No wonder we all have fucking anxiety. We can never be sure of anything. I can't be sure that I'm alive. I can't be sure that my partner loves me. I can't be sure that the world won't end tomorrow. I can't be sure of anything. So then how can I do anything? How can I write or love or organize or just chill the fuck out? We're bound up in this hyper-individualized nonsense that was made up by a bunch of rich academics having a fucking laugh. They rendered us hopeless because they wanted to play around with language, but there is hope. And that hope is revolution. Because what we have now isn't like a cosmic thing, you know? Evil is material. Evil is a system that allows a small group of people to oppress everyone else. It's made up of certain things like the economy and the government and the police and the army and the prisons, which are big and powerful, but we can beat them if we fight together. We have power. We all have power when we stand together because we're all working class, right? Though I guess I am speaking to a New York audience, so maybe we're not. Does anyone here own a corporation? Or is a CEO or is a stockbroker or a senator or anything like that? Raise your hand because I want to talk to you. Please, please, yeah? Yeah? Great, get the fuck out. What you have is built on theft and racism and violence. What you have is stolen, and I don't give a shit who you voted for or where you donated. Your wealth is stolen, and you are evil. Fuck off. You don't get to enjoy my art. No, I'm not kidding. Get the fuck out of this fucking theater. Right? We good. Great. I'm so very tired of postmodernism. It limits the imagination. It undercuts our belief in ourselves. So we have to fight for things that are realistic. We have to be the fucking left wing of the possible or whatever. And all our dreams are gone. We can't dream anymore because we all have this crippling fucking self-doubt because we can't know anything. So we stop trying to change the world and just survive it. But I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win because I'm so very tired. Because I'm so very tired of working increasingly shitty low-wage jobs. Because I'm so very tired of people of color and queer people being killed in the street. Because I'm so very tired of having to struggle to afford anything. Because I'm so very tired of postmodernism. I'm so very tired.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming in.
Of course, it's not every day that you get invited into.
We've been reading your work, and we think we might be able to find a place for you here.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Trans is very in right now,
and
we think that diversity is really going to sell.
Well, I agree.
What do you have to pitch to me?
I have this piece. It's a love story between a trans person and their girlfriend.
How do they die?
Excuse me?
The trans character, how does she die?
They live.
They don't die.
No, they don't.
Do they come out?
No, they already came out before the film begins.
Why?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Why don't they come out in the film? Don't you want them to be trans?
They are.
So they do come out.
No.
I don't understand. How is the audience supposed to know they're trans if they don't come out?
I mean, I think you can tell.
How? If the film isn't about them being trans, won't that just complicate it?
I think the film is about being trans.
How?
I mean, trans people date.
But why make the character trans if you aren't going to talk about it? Just make her cis and we could get a star.
I don't think you're understanding the pitch.
Why do they have to be trans?
Because, I mean, trans people exist.
So do the Amish.
I'm not sure I understand the comparison.
The Amish exist too, but if you're going to make a movie with an Amish romance, you better fucking explain why they are Amish.
I mean, sure.
So, why is this character trans?
Because I want to tell trans stories.
What's in it for the audience?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's the problem with all you experimentalists. You just make art for your friends and not for anyone else. There's an audience, a wide audience of people who don't know shit about gender or pronouns or whatever. And sure, they're bigots and they vote wrong and whatever the fuck, but they're the ones you need to reach. You got to change their minds or you're just giving sermons to the choir.
I want to make queer art for queer people.
And why the fuck do you want to do that?
Because it's just what I want to see.
Oh, so you're a narcissist.
I guess.
Fucking artists.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
are you
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I come in?
God, shit. Yes. Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm always awkward about this.
Yeah.
Should we just...
Yeah.
Do you want to kiss?
Not particularly. Do you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
you're hot.
thanks.
So,
Let's get to it. I gotta be somewhere in an hour.
totally.
A well-made play with capitals. Yes, with capitals. A well-made play with capitals must have the following. 1, the exposition must not precede all the action, but be mixed in with the first part of the play. 2, the play must begin with an event that causes a crisis in an already unstable situation, which arouses the interest and the curiosity of the audience and gives more life and energy to the exposition. 3, the action must be made up of attempts to overcome a series of obstacles, culminating in the major obstacle that will hold up until the denouement. 4, the denouement, it must be carefully prepared, highly dramatic, and despite its structural importance, designed primarily for the emotional satisfaction of the audience. 5, obstacles in the well-made play typically have to do with communication issues. 6, the reversals associated with each obstacle come in pairs, the first favorable and the second unfavorable, so that the hero's difficulties afford only brief respites before the final victory. 7, there are several ways of bringing about the final reversal. It must be unpredictable, and much of the art of the well-made play lies in the preparation of its elements in such a way that the audience will not be able to put them together before the right moment, but will quickly recognize the logic of the solution once presented. That is how to make a play well made. Good day and thank you. My work here is done. You are now all artists. Please see the girl on the way out. She'll validate your parking.
But we must also consider Aristotle.
Must we?
He believed that women were dumber than horses.
Girl.
He did.
He also believed in slavery.
Girl.
He also believed that women and slaves could never be protagonists.
True. But Aristotle,
Yes.
that motherfucker,
That motherfucker.
had some ideas about the theater that maybe we should discuss.
Must we?
We don't have to, but we did discuss a well-made play.
With capitals.
Are the two always the same?
What?
Is a well-made play, no capitals, always the same as a well-made play, capitals?
No, of course not.
But isn't it?
No.
But, like, listen to me.
No, come on. These people don't want to listen to that
Why not?
because it isn't dramatically compelling.
Girl, they came to this. They are definitely either friends with or fucking someone in the cast.
Or both.
Or both.
Girl, I got dicked down good a few nights back.
Oh?
Yeah, girl.
Fuck, yeah, how'd it go?
How'd it go? Girl, you talk like you're a virgin.
I'm not, I'm just poorly written.
Oh, gotcha.
Can we talk about sex instead? Sex is much more interesting than differing conceptions of the theater.
The theater exhausts me.
You know what exhausts me? The sex I had last night.
Stop bragging!
Girl, I'm not. Download the apps and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
No, I wouldn't.
Girl.
No, it's easier for you. You're thin and white
In white.
and pass.
And pass.
Girl.
I don't think we should do this anymore.
Okay.
Is that all?
I mean, what else is there to say?
Don't you want to know why?
Do you want to tell me?
Yes.
Then tell me.
I think I'm going to come out.
I thought you were out.
Not at work.
Okay.
Not to my family.
Okay.
Not to most people.
Okay.
So we can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Is that all?
What else do you want me to ask?
What those two things have to do with each other?
Do you want to tell me?
Yes.
Then tell me.
I think I'm only fucking you because of the shame.
Okay.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Do you have any questions?
About why it's shameful to have sex with me?
No, about...
No.
Okay.
Did I do something wrong?
No,
Then why is it shameful to fuck me?
it's not you.
Okay, because it sure feels like it's me.
No, it's this random hookup shit.
We've been sleeping together for 3 months.
Yeah,
That's not random hookups.
I think I have to take a break
Okay.
because like I need to figure my own shit out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. I hope you figure your shit out.
Don't be mean.
I'm not. I mean it. I hope you are happy. Or at least find it.
I want my MTV.
Not their MTV.
They have their MTV.
I want my MTV.
I want our MTV.
Fuck MTV.
I want my MTV.
We have Logo.
Fuck Logo.
Bravo?
Fuck Bravo.
VH1, but only when they air Drag Race.
Fuck VH1. Girl, you don't get it.
What? You want a whole channel that's just what?
Our art.
Whose art?
Queer art.
Logo is queer art.
No, girl, Logo is gay art.
Come off it,
No, you gotta understand.
Girl,
girl.
You gotta understand.
okay. I want my MTV.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do this anymore.
I'm sorry, did something happen?
No, it's just
Because I thought we talked about...
No, that was great.
Okay, good. I was worried.
I think we're betraying our principles.
Jesus Christ.
No, but hear me out. We're like radicals, right?
Where is this going?
But we're opposed to all that assimilationist bullshit, right? Like, it isn't our thing.
Why are you talking about politics like a fun seasonal accessory? It's weird.
No, exactly. Politics isn't something that you should take on and off. So we can't keep doing this.
See, there it is. That's the jump for me. It's right there.
But we're playing into the stereotype.
What stereotype?
Of gay men, right? That's what we're doing.
By having sex?
By participating in hookup culture.
What?
It's the toxic self-sabotage of our community, right? That our generation just fucks without feelings, and that's why we're all vapid and self-absorbed and stuff like that. Right?
Okay, couple of things. First, I am begging you to make some friends who aren't white and thin. 2, girl, what? 3.
And exactly that.
Exactly what?
Why did you say girl? Why is it the child version of woman, the thing that we call ourselves? I wouldn't call you a boy. I think we're recreating the toxicity of our culture with our interpersonal relationship.
So, a lot to unpack there. I absolutely refuse to stop using the word girl to refer to my gay friends, and you can't stop me.
But why girl? Why what is it about the category of girl?
Girl, it's not that deep.
Language reflects attitudes and recreates those attitudes.
You need to drop out of grad school.
Well, why is it the child form of woman?
So hold on, let's get it together before you're gonna read. Girls aren't necessarily the child form of women.
Why?
Well, trans women, for one thing.
But that's different. Those are women, but just gendered incorrectly.
Not necessarily. Gender is a fluid thing that changes over time. So a boy can absolutely grow into a woman, or a girl can grow into a man, or a girl can grow into something in between. Also, if we're going to get all fucking academic about it, many societies consider children to be a different gender than adults.
That's boys.
Okay, not necessarily, and that doesn't change my point.
It's sexist.
It's not sexist.
It's using femininity as an insult.
Absolutely untrue. Mama, I'm not scared of no fucking femininity, okay? It's using femininity as a form of intimacy. Also, womanhood does not have a monopoly on femininity. Like, I'm femme as fuck, and femininity belongs to me as much as it belongs to any cis woman.
But girlhood is different from femininity.
So, you're the one who brought femininity into this, not me. And also, like, what is girl? Like, who says what a girl is?
Well, scientifically...
Science doesn't have anything to do with sociological labels. Girl isn't a medical term. It's a societal one. Child with vagina is a medical category, but girl isn't. There are children with vaginas who aren't girls, as you've pointed out. So then the definition of girl can't just be young version of women. It has to be a more flexible definition.
So are you trying to argue that I'm a girl and that's why you call me that?
Well, why not? I mean, like, I've certainly called myself a bitch a bunch, and many people, if they were asked about me, would say them, they're a bitch. So in a lot of meaningful ways, I am a bitch. I know gay men who call themselves mean girls. Like, you walk into a bar and you see that gaggle of gays in the corner, and you say to your friend, oh, those are mean girls. If I text you, how's the club? And you respond, the mean girls are here, I know exactly what sort of person you're talking about. So the category of mean girls is not limited to young female people who are unkind. So why can't girl be an inclusive category?
Because you'd never say you're a girl. And if one of your friends told you that they were a girl, you'd assume that they meant a woman.
But But what about the kinksters who do like child play all the time? They might say they're girls.
But kink is different from identity. They like to pretend that they're children, just like dudes who like to cross-dress or pretend that they're women but aren't actually women, and they don't consider themselves women.
Fair enough. But I do think that girl as a term has taken on multiple different meanings, especially within the queer community.
But is it our term to reclaim?
I don't fucking know, girl.
Girl.
So why are you breaking up with me again? Fucking me is betraying the revolution or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing Friday?
Nothing. You want to hang?
Sure.
Great.
This play reads like you fuck.
I do.
No, but like a lot.
What do you mean?
I mean that every scene is you hooking up with a random person.
That's not true.
There's a lot of random sex.
Okay, I've had random sex.
But not like a lot.
No, but it's, I don't know, creative expression?
Girl.
What?
It's nothing.
Fucking spit it out.
No need to get all up in arms.
Oh, what is it?
It's just, don't you think it's a little stereotypical?
How dare you?
Not like that, but I mean, doesn't this play into all the stereotypes of our community? That all we do is fucking hate ourselves and that there isn't anything else there?
Isn't that our community?
Not really. I mean, that's a problem, but that's not your problem, you know?
What's my problem then?
Your problem?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I know that it isn't that you have too much random sex and just really want a meaningful relationship. You're in a relationship.
I am.
And you have been for a while.
Yeah, so?
So, you know, is this your story to tell?
Is this my story to tell?
Not like that, but you're performing autobiography. You know, you're trying to be like, oh, look, they're so self-reflective, but you're not actually reflecting or telling any truths. You're saying that cis white gay men suck, which is absolutely fucking true, but also there's more than that. I mean, you're calling this play a gender expression, and I don't know that your gender is about sex.
Oh, then please tell me what my gender is about.
I don't fucking know. It's your gender and it's your play, but like, you wanted to write from your trauma, and I don't know that your trauma has to do with sex. Does it?
No.
Okay.
So what, I should throw it all out?
No. I think the scenes are good, but I don't know. Write about your shit, not the shit that you think will sell.
You know that's hard for me.
Yeah, well, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should I write about?
What scares you?
What doesn't scare me?
What are you scared to write about?
I envy women.
You envy women.
specifically queer women. I envy queer women because that's how I see myself.
Okay.
And I both want to fuck them and be them, and it fucks with me, and I hate it, and I hate myself, and I can't let anyone read this play.
Fuck this play. Talk more about that. There's something there.
When I see a woman on the street with dyed hair and tattoos, I think that's how I look in my head.
Okay.
And I'm obsessed with TV shows about teenage girls because I feel like I am one deep down, and I never got that experience. And I don't have trauma about my childhood. Well, not anymore, but I feel like I never got to grow up as a girl, but I also have no interest in transitioning, and I don't know, and I hate everything. I hate writing this, and I'm gonna hate sitting in the theater and listening to people say it, as if anyone will ever put this fucking play on.
Okay. That's okay. And a start.
That's not the start of anything. You can't write a play based on that.
Why not?
I mean, there's no conflict.
There's definitely conflict.
But there's no, it's not dramatic.
Maybe. What else scares you?
I don't know. What else scares me?
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Career anxiety. I have a lot of career anxiety.
Charlie Kaufman made a whole career out of writing about that.
But Charlie Kaufman is Charlie Kaufman.
And you're you.
Fuck off.
No, I mean it. You know. I think you're.
But it's like, no one wants to see another fucking whiny artist play.
So don't write a whiny artist play.
Then what the fuck am I writing?
I don't know. Write the sort of play that you like. That's what I don't understand about you. You never write the sort of plays that you love. Why not?
I don't know.
So fuck it. Write that crazy shit you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Act 2. Depressive. God, it's brutal out here. Olivia Rodrigo.
Some things I wished I'd said.
Fuck you.
I disagree.
I think you're an abusive piece of shit who has no business teaching.
Sorry, Mom.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
I'm queer.
Stop making fun of me.
Stop it.
I'm an alcoholic.
I need to go to therapy.
I want this very badly.
Want to have sex?
I don't want to have sex.
I think I'm going to go home.
I don't know what I'm doing.
We value our friendship.
I really value you.
I really value myself.
I'm trans.
I'll call you.
Please reach out to me.
I'm full of shit.
It's gonna be okay.
I promise. It's going to be okay.
I'm old.
You're not old.
Well, I'm getting older.
So is everyone.
I'm not everyone.
Is anyone?
This has become abstracted.
Indeed.
When did the world get so terribly young?
I don't know. Maybe around when we got old.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm scared. All of the time. I'm scared saying this. I'm scared all of the time. I'm scared you won't like this, which would mean that I am bad at what I do, which would mean that I am bad, which would mean that you don't like me, which would mean that I am unlovable, which would mean that I will never be loved, which would mean that I will never be happy, which would mean that I will be forever unhappy. So if you don't like this, then I will be forever unhappy. Perhaps I will be forever unhappy.
Oh, want to hear a joke?
My career.
Our lives!
The future.
The end of the world. You want to hear a joke? A man walks into a bar and says, "Can I have a beer?" And the bartender gives him a beer. The man drinks it and walks out of the bar. That's the joke.
Modern life.
Life is the joke.
I hate it here.
Let's talk of happier things.
I've had a tough year. Well, I guess not as tough as some people. I mean, some people have like died and shit, so that's worse. But mine has been pretty rough professionally and personally. Like it's I don't know, you get older and you have to accept that your dreams will just stay that, and yeah, I've had a tough year. And a lot of rejection and setback, and yeah, I've had a tough year. But I don't know. My friends growing up hated me. Well, not hated, but got annoyed with me because I had what my mother called a sunshine disease, because I always tried to see the bright side. And my friends hated it, but I just always believed that everything will work out. But as I get older, I don't know anymore. Maybe it won't. Maybe you just catch a random deadly virus and you die and that's it. Maybe you work really hard and you're just never good enough. Maybe the revolution never comes. Maybe the ice caps melt and we all drown and that's just it. Jeez, this play is depressing.
Hey!
Hey,
How's things?
I don't know.
Good. I'm good.
That's good.
Hey, man.
Hey,
How's life?
it's fine, just working.
Yeah.
How about you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm okay. Just all that shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
Oh, she's good.
good?
Yeah.
Just working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want another drink?
Maybe.
Okay.
What are you drinking?
Vodka cran.
I used to drink those when I was new to the city and gay and trying to figure out my drink.
So, another?
Yeah.
Cool. Be back.
Hey,
Hey.
how's things?
Oh, you know.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
How's your career?
Bad. How's yours?
Bad.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
How's yours?
You mean my career?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
My what?
Your career?
Yeah, career, right?
Yeah.
Career.
Career.
It's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
how's things?
Oh, fine. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's yours?
You mean my career?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, how is it?
Who is she?
Oh, she's a bitch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, fuck me over.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck.
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 Really? Fuck.
Well, how's yours?
You mean my career?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
I don't know. Ask him.
I don't know him.
How's your career?
I wanted to get into grad school, and then I didn't, and now I feel like a failure, and I'm also lost because my industry has fallen apart, and I'm scared, and I don't know what the fuck to do.
I think I should go.
Do you want to fuck me?
You want me to fuck you? What do you want from me?
Tell me that I'm beautiful. Make me believe it. I want to go outside and stand in the rain, and not the rain, but the air, and I want to feel the wind, and I want a fucking haircut, and I want to grow my hair, and I want to be stroked, and I want you to fuck me, and I want you to hug me, and make me believe it, and I want to get drunk with you, and dance with you, and I want you to want me, and I want to feel the anxiety of hitting on you, and I want to smoke a cigarette, and I want to smoke a cigarette, and I want to smoke a cigarette, and I want to dance with you, and I want people to stop asking me about my goddamn career, and I want the small talk to fucking stop, and I want to finish a play, and I want you to fuck me. Fuck me. Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, and forget every fucking thing and dance with me. And I hate dancing, but I love to dance, and I want you to dance with me, and I want to drink too much, and I want to smoke a cigarette with you. Will you smoke a cigarette with me? Will you fuck me? Will you dance with me? Will you touch me? Will you drop acid with me? Will you eat mushrooms with me? Will you snort cocaine with me? Will you roll on Molly with me? Will you shoot heroin with me? Will you fucking overdose on PCP with me? Will you fuck me? Will you smoke a cigarette with me? I want a fucking cigarette. And the times I would stay up too late and drink too much and smoke too much with a person and get to know them, I miss being young and in New York, and I want to feel that with you. And I know that's too much to ask of any one person, but we don't really know each other. But I really look up to you, and I both want to fuck you, and I want to be you, and I don't know who you are, and I want to know who you are. Do you have a cigarette?
Act 3, artist. Fuck your lecture on craft. My people are dying. Nur Hindi.
You need to focus on structure.
On structure.
Yeah, your structure's all over the place.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You should be. You need to know the basics. You need to know the rules in order to subvert.
I think I do know the rules.
You need to focus on structure.
Okay.
There's no climax.
Okay. I thought there was.
Where?
There.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not a climax.
All right.
You think this is the climax.
I thought I did.
Well, this isn't the climax.
Okay.
Also, you need to explain why the villain commits a hate crime.
Really?
Yeah.
But he's just a bigot.
I need a backstory.
Okay.
Maybe add a scene where he explains why he hates gay people.
What would that look like?
Look, this draft is a mess. There's no protagonist, there's no journey, there's no climax.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Rewrite it and bring it back.
Okay.
Oh, also, if you could tone it down a little bit, doesn't need to be so profane, does it?
Thank you so much for coming to this talk back. Our goal here today is to help our playwright develop his play more. So let's start off with the things we liked. Okay? What are some things you liked? Yes, you.
I liked the plot, but I don't think an audience would.
Yeah, I agree. I liked the jokes, but I'm not sure an audience would.
Yeah, I actually want to second that as well. I really responded to the love story, but I'm not sure an audience would.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, I mean, you're the playwright. Please.
Thanks for all of you all. You mentioned that you don't think an audience would respond, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. I don't know anyone who would want to see this.
See, now I liked it, but would my mother?
I'm worried from a producer's perspective of the marketability below the Mason-Dixon.
Thank you. Now, just to follow up, if audiences will have a problem with it, but none of you did, then what exactly the fuck are you? Spirits? Ghosts of my past mistakes? No takers? Great, thanks. Now let's talk more about this imaginary audience.
There's no need to get confrontational.
Yes, there fucking is.
There is no need to swear.
Yes, there is. This is my play and my unfair rant, and I'll speak how I fucking like. Is that all right by you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're the playwright.
Thank you. I'm so tired of all this. Like, fucking Jesus, what's the fucking point? You're not going to do my play. You're not going to pay me. You're not going to pass me along to future opportunities. I just took 3 days off of work so I could lose money on a goddamn reading. My plays don't need to be read and they don't need to be developed. They need to be done, for the love of God.
That's a little arrogant, don't you think?
Maybe I'm a little arrogant.
Well, let's unpack that.
Are you my therapist now?
Maybe. Would you like me to be? This play already exists in a pretty nebulous world, so I can become your shrink if you'd like.
I don't have a shrink.
But we can all agree that you probably should have one, right? Great. So let's change up the scene. Lay back.
Okay.
Great. Now, where should we begin?
The beginning is traditional.
It's a very good place to start.
Oh, so I got a gay therapist.
Would you really go to a straight one?
I always assumed that it would be a glamorous woman in her 40s, a Nicole Kidman type.
Girl.
Sorry.
Great. Let's begin.
Okay.
So how was this week for you?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
It was stressful. I don't know. I live a high stress life.
Let's unpack your arrogance.
Okay.
Why are you arrogant?
I'm not. I don't think I'm arrogant.
You said you were.
It's more that I have an ego.
Everyone has an ego.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that they are arrogant.
Yes, I agree. Yes, exactly.
But you said arrogance.
I misspoke.
You didn't.
You are right.
So why do you feel you have the right to be arrogant?
This isn't a very friendly therapist.
You don't need a friendly therapist. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking.
Don't think, just answer.
I think I have a right to be arrogant because I've worked really hard.
Bullshit.
Bullshit?
Lots of people work hard. Lots of people work harder than you.
I don't think you're a very good therapist.
You've never seen a good therapist. What was I supposed to base my performance on?
I don't think my ego is the inherent issue of my life.
What is the inherent issue of your life?
Why is our generation of playwrights so fucking boring? Where are all the weirdos who do like legit crazy and challenging shit?
Explain.
I'm reading the new play by Redacted, and girl,
That bad?
you said to me once that all modern plays are just one weird thing, like a very normal plot, and then one weird thing happens at the end. And then everyone gives it a standing ovation for being such an innovative and challenging work. I feel like if we're going to be poor playwrights, we should at least be cool. Like the shit you do. I want rainstorms of blood and screaming matches. I want radical ambition. I want the weird gonzo shit they were doing in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure. These plays suck.
Like, I'm so fucking tired of kitchen table dramas.
Please stop with the tables. Just burn the tables.
Our generation is so worried about getting someone to produce us that we stopped writing anything interesting or producible. And it's always either weaponizing identity or trauma.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And remember that playwright I told you about, Redacted?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his new play is once again about his trauma of being gay. And like, I'm sure it was traumatic. I'm sure he has trauma, but like, girl, you know?
Yeah. Totally. It feels like, I don't know, almost doing queer face for the straights. Like, come gawk at how hard it is to not be you.
Lorraine O'Grady said in the future, white supremacy will no longer need white people. And it feels like queerphobia is no longer requiring straight people.
Like, we are recreating the same messages queerphobia taught us to live.
Yeah, they can no longer tell our stories without us. So instead, they're paying us to tell on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're still telling the same old story as always. Man, isn't it hard to come out? Let's center coming out as an individualized event and your parents' feelings because straight people actually matter more than queer people. And we're telling these stories for them because we want them to pay us money. We've dumbed down and betrayed our community for profit. We're fucking complicit. I mean, not us. I think we don't do that, but as a generation.
No, yeah, totally. It's, I don't know, it's trauma porn for rich white people.
Exactly.
I am truly the most unhinged playwright, and it's going to kill my career.
Same girl. Also, FYI, I'm adapting these texts into a scene, lol. Why do my plays have to be important? Why can't they just be fun little diversions? Why can't they be fluff? Why can't I write sitcoms? Why can't I write escapism? Why is everything I write required to be either agitprop or documentary? Why am I responsible for representation? Why do I have to explain? Why do I have to dialogue? Why do I have to examine? Why can't I just tell a fucking story? Why do my plays have to be important? I'm thinking about quitting the theater.
You're always thinking about quitting the theater.
No, but now it's political.
Postmodernist getting you down?
No, it's like, what are we doing? Like, art is so insubstantial. It's just like petty bourgeois fluff to satiate the powerful.
That's a very pessimistic take.
But like, we are just making shit to sell, right? It's not, we're the important queer artists. We're all the artists who are making important work that we can study in schools in the future. It's all mellowed out, so nothing is great and little is terrible, and everything is just mediocre.
So you're going to quit the theater?
What else is there to do?
Fight to make it better.
Girl.
What? You want to go all Larry Kramer, write the normal heart? If you want important queer plays, write them.
It's not an individualistic thing, though. We don't just need a fucking hero. We need a movement. I want all the young queers to stop writing this assimilationist sitcom bullshit and start actually challenging the powerful, you know?
What's the work of art that changed your life? The first one where your identity snapped into focus for you, where you saw yourself for the first time.
Mine was Euphoria.
Bitch.
Girl, I told you I was a teenage girl at heart. But Jules, Hunter Schafer changed my life. Because it was the first time I'd see one of us be like hot and sexy and cool. She's not a tragic figure to just endure a hate crime. And she's an inspiring story to make the straights feel better. She's a full person. And, you know, she wrote that line, "For me, being trans is spiritual," and that fucking blew my wig off.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Our generation didn't have that, like that sort of representation. I hadn't thought about it before, that like in a lot of ways, the fact that the big show with the teens has a trans girl who is so like trans in a real way, in a social and spiritual way that we as trans people are, is really pretty fucking rad.
What was yours?
My work of art that changed my life?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds stupid to say, but Drag Race.
Really?
Yeah, I discovered it when I was just out of college and living alone and first starting to have the big gender crisis, and seeing male-bodied people being that femme and funny and cool was radical for me. I was able to start to adopt elements of femininity that otherwise would have been inaccessible for me due to my internalized gender dysphoria, because it wasn't me being a woman, it was me being a femme gay man. And that transition really helped me find comfort in my femininity and more femme expression.
That's great. I was reading this essay by Drewe Gregory.
I love her.
Oh, me too. This one was all about the contradiction, right? About how Drag Race is super important to so many trans people, but also excludes or excluded for a long time out trans people. And she ends the essay saying, our spaces don't have to be perfect to be ours. We don't have to claim all of the same spaces. our shows don't have to be perfect to be ours.
That's so great.
Yeah. And it's got me thinking, like, we both just named super mainstream, broadly liked shows, right? And they were super important to us. And I'm sure so many kids, right? And it makes me think about our artsy bullshit, right? Like, maybe the normies are right. And we're just preaching to the choir, and maybe we just do need to go all make queer-ish mainstream TV shows, because that's actually how to reach the audiences we want to talk to.
Yeah, I feel like that too sometimes. But I also think that, like, when I was a kid, I was a fucking weirdo, right? And I loved like weirdo art. And finding queer experimentalism was so important for me. Like Taylor Mack and all that scene, right? And I also think about like Dragula, which isn't super mainstream in tone at all, but is still able to reach a wide audience of queer people, right?
Yeah, but that's only because drag is more popular because of Drag Race.
Right. A rising tide lifts all ships. So we have to rely upon these shows that don't necessarily represent us to begin to represent us.
Exactly. And that's why capitalism is a bitch.
It surely is, girl.
I knew this writing teacher once, though you could tell me he was a wizard. He was old and walked with a cane and wore robes. I'm not fucking with you. He wore robes and had these like old-timey spectacles, and he'd sit at the head of this seminar and puff on an unlit cigar and just talk to us. I don't know if I got anything out of that class, but he had some great stories and bumper stickers. Some of us want to be writers. We'd keep a journal that we shared between us of all the wild things that this guy would say, and then one of us would post it on Tumblr. Yes, this was back in the days of Tumblr, and we ran this Tumblr just dedicated to quotes from this man. I don't really know who it was for. We thought it was funny and sometimes meaningful, I guess, but I haven't thought of most of them in years, except he had these two mantras that he'd say a minimum 8 times a class. The first was, no story can't be told, and the second was, write until it scares you. And we were 19, so it inspired us. We thought he was a genius. We read his short stories from the 70s and talked about his brilliant use of metaphor and symbolism. We read his novel from the 90s and talked about how he really reinvented the form. And we'd write these, in retrospect, god-awful stories about rape and suicide and queer pain. So much queer pain. It filled our pages and drafts. Young lesbians mourning after straight girls, young gay boys beaten by the unsympathetic jock, young trans kids forced into degrading and dehumanizing experiences. It was all we wrote, just pages of this stuff. And the mental illness, Jesus Christ, the only thing we loved more than queer pain was glorifying mental illness. I swear, whoever invented razor blades should have given us a grant for how often they appeared in our stories. All our heroes were dark and troubled or tragic and too beautiful to live. In retrospect, we were all just severely fucked, but trying to convince ourselves we were special. So we didn't have to get help, because health was for the sellouts. We trade stories about how little we slept, compare how little we ate in a day, smoked packs on packs of cigarettes, and made our brilliant art, and then drank ourselves to sleep, and it was fine, because we were artists. We were the next beat generation. We were the club kids of suburbia, and someday soon, people were going to realize. And we were all so special because we were artists, and artists are higher than people, the highest of people. We were the ones tasked with making sense of the world and society and culture and love and loss. And most importantly, we had our mantras. No story can't be told. Write until it scares you. But then we graduated, and the big, bright world was ahead of us. And things never remain the same as they were. Everyone knows that. and the club kids of suburbia can't necessarily match up, you know? But we had this rage and this entitlement at the world because we knew that it was mean and unfair. And we knew that society was broken, that capitalism was in decay, that the state and the structures must fall. And we knew that we were the chosen ones, the ones sent into battle to save culture from the gaping and empty maw of postmodernism. And we had this rage and this judgment whenever one of us would fall. I remember Allison, she was the best of us, or at least we thought she was. Maybe she wasn't, maybe she was. Well, I can't have an objective view of the past, but Allison fucked around and fell in love, and worse than that, got married to a man. What a bourgeois concept. And she moved to Wichita to work in a call center, and I'm sure she still calls herself a writer. Maybe she does, but she left the quest, you know? You can't ever leave the quest because your other knights have to face the dragon alone. Paul was the steadiest of us, and he was methodical. I never met an artist who was more exact. He had a plan, and he was going to follow it. And he took internships in publishing houses, and he took classes, and he met all the right people. But then his mom got sick, and now he manages an Arby's, and no one has heard from him in years. Then there was Diane. She, goddamn, her prose leapt off the page. Her queer pain even outdid ours. And she wrote for a while, but she wanted to be comfortable, despite the fact that comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the enemy is another one of the wizard's mantras. And being a writer, well, even when you are the voice of your generation, it isn't a job to take if you want to be comfortable. So she started teaching creative writing to disadvantaged kids, and she loved it. And it made her comfortable. So now she hasn't really written in years, and her queer pain, it seems to be gone. Now she just writes haikus on Instagram. I feel like I'm the only one of all of us who held the course. This was the plan. We were the best generation. We were the Beats, and we graduated together, and we moved to Brooklyn together, and we were going to write together and work shitty jobs together and cry in bars together and curse the industry together and take it by storm and burn it all down and build it up in our own image. And we were supposed to do that together, but now they're all gone. And I'm working to not resent them. Surely we all deserve to be happy, but I feel like I was sold a bill of goods because I took a fucking quest, and then all my knights disappeared. So now I'm just here facing the dragon all alone, and maybe it's gonna eat me. It eats people every day. And all I want are the people I set out on the quest with, and they've all fucked off being comfortable and stable and happy. Don't they know that if you are stable, comfortable, and happy, you can't be an artist? And don't they remember that if you're an artist, you're the highest form of person? And don't they want to be the highest form of person? We were born with a mission, and we made our army to go and take on the world. And now I feel like it's just me, and I'm all on my own, and I feel like I fucked up, but I'm the only one who did things right. The way we agreed, the way we said we would, and now I'm all alone. And they're what? Happy, content, comfortable with their chosen mediocrity? While I'm the one in the trenches trying to be what we were always supposed to do. I'm the only one carrying the torch for our generation. That's the pressure I put on myself, to carry the torch for my generation, to show that you can be successful even if you went to a bad college, to show that you can be successful even if you're non-binary and mentally ill and all the other things wrong with me. I'm the representation. And I force myself to carry all of that, and I have to do it alone because all my knights fucked off. Right until it scares you. Well, it surely fucking does. It surely fucking does. That professor, the wizard with the mantras, he was arrested a few months ago. Turns out he had been assaulting students for years, including some of my classmates. And we all ran about idolizing and quoting and yearning to be this abusive fuck. So I went back to read one of his stories from the 70s, the ones that I read, and it changed how I thought of writing, and I wanted to hate it, because then I could dismiss all of my youthful idolatry as the work of a less serious artist. Someone who worshipped anyone with an aesthetic, who let the wool be pulled over their eyes by a charming but vapid abuser. And I loved it. I fucking loved it. Maybe even more now. I appreciated it more. The writing wasn't just beautiful, but also wonderfully unpretentious. It was exactly what it felt like to be an artist in your not-so-mid-20s who wasn't as successful as you felt you should be. It resonated with me so much that I read another one of the stories in the collection, and I loved it too, and it pissed me off because I wanted to hate him. This motherfucker who terrorized these students, these kids, many of whom were my friends, some of whom never wrote again because he drove that out of them. This man did the worst thing you can possibly do and robbed the world of a whole body of work, and still his work resonated with me. And that's just the bitch of it, I guess. I don't know. I don't go in for mantras anymore. How's this? Am I scared enough now? Can I stop fucking writing?
Act 4, Trans. Sorry about the stuff I did while I was figuring out this trans thing. Avery Edison.
Why are you doing this?
I'm scared
Oh, of what?
of everything.
That's unspecific.
I'm scared of the specific.
Why?
Because what's there?
In the specific?
Yes, in the specific.
I guess, well, not to be trite, but the specific.
So the specific is in the specific? That means nothing.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared to tell people.
Okay. Then why are you doing this?
Because I have this fucked up idea that you have to do things that scare you. I'm not sure if it's fucked up.
It feels fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
That I'm trans?
You've been out as trans for like years.
Yeah. But like, I think
What?
it's more important. I don't think I happen to be trans. I think I have to be trans.
What's the difference?
I'm not sure.
But it feels different.
Yeah.
Well, then I support you.
Thanks, girl.
Always.
It's going to be okay.
I can't believe I lied that way.
You didn't know you were lying.
Yes, I fucking did.
No, you didn't. You were...
I know what I was.
Girl,
What?
you were falling apart in crisis. It's not your fault.
I can't believe I lied to those kids that way.
You need to let it go.
When have I ever been good at letting things go?
Girl, it's going to be okay.
I've been growing my own weed.
Why are you doing that?
It makes me feel like less of a drug addict.
Fair enough, I guess.
Do you want some?
Of your homegrown weed?
It's cured and shit.
What does that mean?
It means I grew it and then hung it up to dry for like 3 days.
That seems like a lot of work.
You should try the edibles.
Oh?
I had to buy a chemistry set to make them.
Why'd you have to do that?
To get the process right.
Why didn't you just bake weed into them?
They're gummies.
And that's more difficult.
Much more.
Okay. So why do you do it?
To feel like less of a drug addict.
Fair enough, I suppose.
So, do you want one?
I don't think so.
Why? They're good.
So this is what you've been doing when you aren't working?
That and reading.
Oh, nice. What have you been reading?
Mainly just like long threads on Reddit.
You and Reddit, girl.
Finding some interesting stuff.
On Reddit, I highly doubt it.
I've been spending some time on the trans subreddits.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there something I should ask?
I don't know.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I mean, yeah, shit. How long have you known?
I was like, I just started thinking about like everything, like my entire life and childhood and everything. And suddenly it just clicked.
That's fucking amazing.
Thanks. It's scary.
Definitely. I mean, shit.
I haven't told anyone else yet.
Oh, fuck. I mean, thank you.
Yeah. And it was watching you be, you for all these years that made me feel comfortable doing this.
That's amazing. Thank you for saying that. So, do you want to like get on hormones and do surgery and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
I feel a lot better now.
Amazing. That's really incredible.
I didn't like who I was before. Like I was reading on these threads and shit, that often when you are, you sometimes overcompensate and become the total embodiment of your assigned gender. And that's when I just.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a thing to realize. Shit.
And with.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus.
But I feel happy.
That's great. You deserve that.
Thank you. I feel like this huge fucking weight has been lifted off of me.
That makes a lot of sense.
And like all of the shit ahead of me, the telling people and surgery and legal shit, it just all feels manageable because I'm finally,
That's incredible. It's really great to hear.
So yeah, this is me now.
And you're making edibles.
And I'm making edibles.
I had a right to a trans childhood. What I mean is that something was taken from me, from all, or I guess most, trans people, that we were forced to grow up as a gender that wasn't ours. And that process was violent, often. Gendering is violent. That isn't to say that I had a repressive childhood. I didn't feel repressed, but I was. I was scared to be too femme, not because my parents would freak out, they were and they are great, but because society would freak out. I just knew that I couldn't. That as I grew, I learned that there were things that boys had to do and I had to do in order to be accepted into society. I had it better than a lot of people. I fully recognize that, but it was a violent social repression of my self-expression. And literally every trans person has gone through that because there is no such thing as a trans childhood, not a full one right now. Because there are societal and economic forces that forcibly gender you. Driver's license and birth certificates and legal shit, right? In Brazil, in order to change your name as a trans person, you have to declare yourself mentally unwell because transness is still considered a mental disorder. I was talking to this trans woman that I know in Brazil, and she was telling me that 95% of trans women in Brazil are sex workers. Most start young. They come from the cities, from the more rural areas at like 14, because the cities will have better access to gender-affirming healthcare. Then they rack up huge debts through getting surgery and hormones, and then the pimps essentially recruit them into basically child trafficking. And that's the life they live from 14 until they die at 26. The life expectancy for a trans woman in Brazil is 26. That's not even robbing them of a trans childhood. That's robbing them of any childhood. And obviously, when compared to that, my complaints couldn't be more minor, but still, I still have trauma from that, from not being able to grow up correctly gendered, which has given me a complex about living life correctly gendered now. And that's just a trauma that I have. And it was robbed from me. That's a thing I think about a lot. How much capitalist society has stolen from all of us. It's stolen our ability to be true to ourselves. It's disconnected us from our desires, our sense of self, our sense of love, our experience of sex, of genders. Everything has been taken from us and crushed into a profit-motivated conformity to keep the system afloat. It's crazy, and more people should be talking about, and like, we can't just stop. Like, how crazy is that? We all, or many of us, recognize that this whole thing is bullshit. It's irrational. Gender isn't fucking real, but I still have it because people still look at me and see a gender, and the government still makes me put an M on my form. So undoing this bizarre gender binaryism that has been imposed on us isn't just an individualistic task. And I'm sorry to sound kumbaya, but I am a communist, but it's a collective one. We have to get together and organize and fight and win a better world, not through thought alone, but through action. Liberation is possible, but only through collective struggle. And we gotta be ready to struggle because the fight is on, because the other side is fighting, and they're fighting fucking dirty. They're coming after fucking kids, and we're gonna, what? Sign some petitions, make some phone calls? Or are you gonna join me in the streets like our elders did at Stonewall? Because I had a right to a trans childhood, and so did all of you. Or if not a trans childhood, then a correctly gendered one. And if you got that, great. But a lot of us didn't. And that's the fate of trans people until we bring the system down. So the fight is on, whether you want it or not. Larry Kramer, may he rest in power, was once asked how he wanted to be remembered. And he said, as a man who fought the war. Let us be the trannies who fought the war, or the allies who fought the war, because we need y'all too. But I want you to remember me as a tranny who fought the war. Because things are the way they are, things will not remain the way they are. Rep said that. I like it. It brings me peace. I don't know about you, but I've been having a bit of a hard time these past few years. I'm just so very tired. I feel beaten down. It's taken me way too long to write this play. Far, far too long. I used to do a lot of things, but I used to have this reputation for having like the fastest turnaround you've ever seen. I wrote fast and I wrote well, and I think I've lost it. I used to be creative, and I think I've lost it. Want to hear more philosophy? Well, sucks to be you. I got the stage, for now at least. I kind of think this is my last play. I don't know if I have anything else to say, and I've weaponized my experience, so what else is there to say? You've all gotten to see the fucked up inside of my head, so what else is there to say? My queer pain has been sold to you. I have no value anymore. Queer art for queer artists, postmodernism, careers, gender, none of it is real, man. It's all a fucking con. The Greeks used to think of life like a river that was constantly in motion, so it wasn't moving from point A to point B in this linear path we have now, but we don't view life like that anymore. We've done this bizarre return to theism. Now life has a purpose that we have to find, and there's a right path and a wrong one, and you have to pick it when you're still a fucking teenager. I stay up at night, most nights, thinking over and over about what I got wrong, because I thought I knew how my life was supposed to go, and it didn't go that way. I assume, and because my head is fucked up, I assume it's because I fucked up, because that's what... I'm sorry, I know these philosophy monologues are for no one, but they make me happy, and I'm trying to do things that make me happy, or at least do them more. Anyway, the way we think of life is like there's this, no, think of it this way. When you watch a movie, right, there's typically a traditional structure, right? The sort you study in school with rising action, climax, falling action, denouement, yeah? Well, that structure is how we think about fucking life. Bear with me here. We're taught from an early age that life is linear and determined. And we all have potential and genetics and dispositions. And if we play our cards right, we can do whatever American dream bullshit, yeah? But what this means is that if you don't achieve shit, it's your fault. If you never reach your potential, that's your fault, because we have ingrained this warped neoliberal meritocracy bullshit, which leaves us all with guilt. And it's evil, and it's intentional. I believe that we have intentionally been taught to hate ourselves because self-hate prevents you from thinking that you deserve better. And all it takes is us realizing that we deserve better to actually fight for shit. I know it takes more than realizing, but I'm summarizing and I don't want to go on a tangent about political strategy, okay? I'm sad, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sad. And I've spent a long time trying to convince myself that I wasn't, or that if I was, that sadness was worth something. And now I kind of don't think it is. I don't know if my sadness is worth anything. I don't know if this play is worth writing, let alone performing, let alone worth watching. And if you're watching this right now, that means I did something brave and possibly stupid and possibly betrayed my politics and myself, or possibly made advances in my aesthetic, or possibly this is just laying in a closet somewhere on a hard drive. I think life is a river with changes and contradictions and glorious, terrifying movement. I think about that Brecht quote a lot because I really don't like the way things are, but they're going to change and morph, and we have the power, the collective power to interact with these changes. And life isn't predestined. And there isn't a cosmic playwright writing us a well-made play. We're just stumbling toward sanity or insanity or truth or reason or just more of the fucking same. And I don't like the way things are in my life, in the world, and in my life. But I can't just sit on my ass and hope that they'll get changed. And I bet you didn't know this was going to be a political play, but every play is a political play. And anyone that claims their play isn't is a fucking liar and probably cis, white, straight, able-bodied, and from money. There's another Brecht quote that I always come back to when I'm writing plays. And that's how he ends The Good Person of Shawan. He lays out this incredible story about the one good person in this whole city and how she loses that goodness. And then the play just ends. And it's abrupt and tragic and devastating, and you think it's the end. And he's just leaving you with pessimism. Right after, a character says that you can't be good in a place where goodness is not in demand. And you're sitting there thinking about how we live in a place where goodness isn't in demand, and that is destroying all of us. And that Brecht just damned us all. When suddenly the protagonist turns to the audience and acknowledges that this isn't a good ending. And it's shocking and wild and so theatrical. And then the protagonist tells you that if you want a better ending, then you have to go out and make one. And it's this incredible moment of both implication and emancipation. On the one hand, you have to reckon with your own status as an observer because you can't be passive anymore. Brecht's robbed you of that. It's that great Howard Zinn quote, right? Like, you can't be neutral on a moving train. And Brecht has pulled up the curtain and shown you that the train is moving. And now you can't just sit in the car anymore. You've got to make a choice. So it's this moment of incredible tension. But in that tension, there is liberation. Because you don't just have to watch shit happen anymore. Brecht has empowered you. You don't have to be passive anymore. You now have agency. And that's fucking terrifying. And that's fucking freeing. Because he's given you permission to critique and do more than critique, to correct. And that's so powerful. And that is truth to me. That things are always changing. But we can impact those changes, that nothing is forever and everything is temporary and change is the only constant, and that change is able to be impacted, which means that we can change the future. And I want to change the future because I don't like the present. And I'd like you to change it with me. Don't just sit there. We've got work to do. 5. Ezra. Our demands most moderate are, we only want the earth. James Connolly.
I am proud to be trans. 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 I am proud to be. I am proud to be. I am proud to be.
I'm proud to be trans.
I am proud to be.
I'm proud to be trans.
I am proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
I am proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
Proud to be.
I'm proud to be trans.
Proud.
I'm proud to be trans. I'm proud to be trans.
Proud. I am proud.
I'm proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
I'm proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
I'm proud to be.
I'm proud to be trans.
I'm proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
I'm proud to be.
I am proud to be trans.
I'm proud to
proud
be.
trans. I am
I'm
proud
proud to be.
I am.
I am proud to be.
I'm
I'm
proud.
proud to be trans.
I'm proud to be.
I'm proud.
I am
I'm
proud to
proud.
be.
I am.
I am
proud
proud
to
to be.
I'm
I'm
proud
proud
to be trans.
I am proud to
I'm
be.
I'm proud to
I'm
be
proud to be.
trans.
I am proud to be.
I am
I am
proud to be
proud.
trans.
I am.
I'm proud to be.
I am proud to be
I
trans.
am
proud to be.
I am
proud.
proud to be
I
trans.
am
I am
proud to be.
I am proud.
I
I am proud.
to
I am
be.
proud to be
proud.
trans.
I am
I'm proud to
proud.
be.
I
I
am
am.
proud to be
I'm proud.
trans.
I am proud
I
to
am
be.
proud to be
I am.
trans. I am
I
proud to
am.
be trans. I am
I
proud to
am.
be.
I am proud.
I am
I
proud
I
to
am
be.
proud.
I am
I
proud
am.
to be.
I
I
am
am proud to
proud.
be. I am
I am
proud to be. I am
proud.
proud to
I am
be.
proud.
I am proud
I
to
am
be.
proud.
I am
I
proud.
am. I
I am
am.
proud.
I am.
I am proud.
I am.
I am proud.
I
I am
am.
proud. I am proud. I am
I
proud.
am.
I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. I am.
Thank you.